Welcome back. Manny Pacquiao weighed in just 2 pounds lighter than American Shane Mosley after the Filipino was welcomed by deafening cheers from his supporters on the eve of Saturday's WBO welterweight title fight. Pacquiao tipped the scales at 145 pounds in front of a crowd of about 6,500 at the MGM Grand Hotel's Garden Arena. Mosley was weighed first and was right on the 147-pound limit for the scheduled 12-round bout. The two fighters were all smiles as they posed for the photographers for their pre-fight pictures. Pacquiao, a 10 times world champion in a record 8 weight divisions, is a 6-1 favourite to win, but he has taken great pains not to underestimate his American challenger. He and Mosley are renowned for being ideal boxing ambassadors and have refused to indulge in any of the pre-bout trash-talking so common in the sport. World number 1 Rafa Nadal cleared the latest hurdle on his quest for a third clay court title in under a month when he overpowered Frenchman Michael Llodra 6-2, 6-2 on Friday to reach the Madrid Open semi-finals. The 24-year-old Spaniard recorded back-to-back victories on his favourite surface at the Monte Carlo Masters and Barcelona Open in April. Nadal will face Federer in the last 4 after the Swiss beat Sweden's Robin Soderling in straight sets. Thomas Berdych, the 7th seed, suffered an upset in the opening quarter-final when he was beaten by unseeded Brazilian Tomás Bellucci 7-6, 6-3. Meanwhile, Djokovic advanced to the semi-final after beating the 6th seed from Spain, David Ferrer, 6-4, 4-6, 6-3. Real Madrid coach Jose Mourinho has been given a 5-match touchline ban in European competition for his sending off and verbal outburst at the Champions League semi-final first leg against Barcelona. And his assistant coach, Aitor Karanka, said on Friday that the coach was going to seek justice. Mourinho was also fined €50,000 for his behaviour by a UEFA disciplinary panel. European football's governing body said Mourinho's ban included the second leg of the tie, which he has already served, while the final match would be suspended for a probationary 3-year period. Karanka said that Mourinho will not appear in news conferences until UEFA explains the reasons for the sanction. 7 times world champion Sebastian Loeb led the field yet again after the first day of the Rally of Italy on Friday. Championship leader Loeb held a 33.2-second advantage in his Citroën over Peter Solberg on the island of Sardinia in the 5th round of the 13-event season. Ford's Mikko Hirvonen won the 8th special stage to climb up to 3rd, ahead of Sebastian Ogier, who elected to slow his pace in order to gain a lower but more favourable road position ahead of day 2. And finally this evening, a previously unknown score handwritten by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart was unveiled for the first time in Paris before it goes under the hammer next week. The score, called the Magnificat, which remains unfinished, was handwritten by Mozart over 200 years ago in around 1779. This rare testimony from the composer, written for soloists, choirs and orchestras, is estimated to fetch up to €90,000 at an auction sale next week. Mozart specialists did not know of its existence until recently, and the piece, which is in perfect condition, bears the signature of Mozart's son, indicating the authenticity of the score.
It is authenticated by Mozart's son, which is quite interesting because he actually signed in with his name of his father, where he said this is really the authentic piece by Mozart, and he signs with W.A. Mozart, although his name was Xavier.
With that, let's take a look at the local and international weather forecast for tomorrow. Before we head out, here are the top stories again. Dubai's deputy ruler welcomes GCC finance ministers. UAE Red Crescent and PCRF celebrate 20 years of humanitarian relief work. And Asian heads of state arrive for ASEAN Leaders Summit. Well, that brings us to the end of the bulletin. As always, please feel free to get in touch with us at news@city7tv.com or by calling us on 04 367 2230, and do join our Facebook page. But from the entire news team, it's goodbye for now.